Commanders, finally update 4.0 is here, and in this video, we're gonna break it down. Greetings Commanders and welcome back to another Warpath video. My name is Eagle, and in this video, finally we have the update 4.0 is here and we're gonna break it down in this video. As you can see down below, there are chapters for the video for every single section that is this update holds. You can jump into whichever chapter that actually interests you the most. We're gonna go deeply through each and every chapter, and some of these topics we're gonna have different videos, for example the officers, to cover more in much more details and talk about the units you can use with them and whatnot. However, we will be able to cover actually everything that happened within this update. Before we start the video, however, I know that the majority of you are still kind of frustrated because many like bugs and lags or even delays are happening within the game right now. I can tell you from my experience that whenever there's like a major update happening within a game, there's definitely gonna be a little bit of like bugs and delays and whatnot for a small period after that update. Hopefully it will be fixed by the next soft update that's happening probably in 1 or 2 weeks from now. So hoping that will fix. However, I know that this frustration has been going on from update 3.0, so I'm gonna do something that's gonna try to help you out guys for this, because I haven't been facing those updates. Whenever I do face like a lag or something, I immediately report it to the devs so that they can try and fix it with like a full report and whatnot. I've already done that job for the emulators. I did report a couple of incidents where I did face lag over there. However, the emulators unfortunately aren't supported by any mobile game, so you can't really tell if the problem is from the emulator itself or from the game itself, because sometimes the emulator itself isn't actually working properly, so that's the main issue. However, so in the comments below, you can leave me exactly which incident happened with you that you faced major lags within the game. And we're not talking about minor lags, we're talking about major lags like actual screen freezes or whatnot. And also type in your mobile model so that we can know exactly what is causing the like this specific like lag or incident, and your software. It's best to actually contact the support within the game so that they would know exactly all these informations without having to put them in the comments below. But if there's like one incident that's happening with everyone else, so I can immediately deliver it to the devs so that they can work on it as fast as possible and solve it by the next soft update. This is the best I can do for you guys in that terms. However, we have gone from this part. Now let's move in to the actual update. The first topic that I want to start with is the new arena. Now, the arena mode, I've been actually asking the devs when I joined the game whether there will be an arena or not, and they told me that they're working on it and it's gonna come, and finally it's here. I've actually played multiple other games before, specifically Kiss of War and other RTS games, and they had an arena system. Even Kiss of War had a global arena system, kind of, which is basically everyone that is in the game, they fight for the top positions. It was extremely competitive. Like if you're in the top 100, then you are like an absolute beast in the game. So basically this one is kind of a soft version of it. I'm actually very experienced with the whole kind of defenses formations and attacking formations in this arena, so I'm super excited to actually share with you guys my knowledge over here in this specific section. If you have no clue what the arena is, it's basically a structure or a building that actually unlocks at Command Center when you reach it level 13, and you'll be able to battle against players with 5 of your units. So if you look over here, the battle is gonna happen. So you have 7 positions to plug in your units. You can plug in 5 units, and only the officers and units buffs apply. So no research, nothing else, no guild tech and whatnot. So only your officers and units buff, which is actually pretty cool because you can experience kind of more strategic part rather than a you know, like if your whale just pumps up the research, then they have advantage over here. Well, they kind of still have advantage because of the unit power grade. However, you can still get some amazing rewards, and I can tell you that because I barely spend anything on the game. I spent like 50 bucks on this account, and that's about it. And I'm just planning to do that from now on, like not spend a lot on the game, simply because I want to kind of get the free-to-play player experience, because I like to get the most out of everything within these games. So I can tell you that the arena is a great place to get some amazing free rewards if you do it well. So basically what the whole point is that your front line has to be kind of the most highest durability. So try to pick up some super heavy tanks or heavy tanks in the front line, and then the back line has to be some damage dealers, some heavy damage dealers. So we're talking about howitzers, we're talking about artillery units in the background. Anti-tank units also are great in the back or the back line over here. You can place them wherever you want because the battle is going to be automatic. Whenever a unit dies in the front line, immediately that unit that was targeting it will target the closest unit to it. So if you still have units in the front line, it will still be targeting it. However, if you lost the units in the front line, they will immediately go to the back line and target those units. We're going to view the battle right now in a second. However, basically, as you can see, I have 6 challenges, and the reason why I have 6 challenges and maybe you have less or more is because of the VIP level. At VIP 5, 9, and 13, you'll be able to get more daily challenges, daily arena challenges, as you can see over here. So I'm VIP right now, 9 right now, and I get 2 daily arena challenges. And this is basically how you get more challenges, and you can get probably more points on a daily basis. However, one trick that I used to use in the arena before, because I wasn't really as strong as those guys, and you can clearly see that I'm like at 3.5 million, and these guys are sometimes 11 million, 8 million, and 6 million. I can't beat those guys. But what I can do is actually get a lot of points right before the next cycle, because this is basically a daily rewarding cycle, right? So you have a daily and a weekly season, let's call it. So the weekly season, once the weekly season finishes, all the points are reset to 1500, right? But before that, on a daily basis, you can increase your points, and right before reset, like right after reset on a daily basis, you will be able to get your daily rewards, which you can see from this section over here. Now, the higher your rank is, the more your rewards are, and of course, the higher your overall rank is, which is the weekly rewards, the more points you are. So the way that you get points is that if you win a fight, you get points, and if someone actually attacks you and you lose a fight, you lose points. However, if someone attacks you and you actually defend it well or win the fight in terms of defense, you will also get points. So the way that it's basically you win, you get points, you lose, you lose points. Technically, it's as simple as that. So if you do all your battles at right before the reset, then you will be able to get a lot of points without having anyone throughout the day to attack you. Because if I like spend all my 6 challenges right now, and even I have also you can get a ticket, by the way, from the daily missions. So if you go over here all the way to the daily missions and then to the last box, as you can see, you have a challenge coupon has been added to it. That means you can do an extra challenge when you have these coupons. So these coupons, you can actually, what you can do with those, you can either leave them to the last day if you're looking for the weekly rewards, or you can do them on a daily basis, because the daily rewards are actually pretty solid. You can get drink tokens, you can get some, you know, universal coupons, Air Force components, and most importantly, the Arena Splendor. Now, the Arena Splendor is a new coin where you can use in the Arena store, which just opened as well. And this store, guys, is amazing. It has drink tokens, it has materials, you have Air Force components, officer experience, all the goodies that you want, in addition to some VIP experience for the free-to-play players so that they can pump up their VIP levels. This is a great store, and it's basically a great way to get the drink tokens, which were extremely hard before. Like, you can stay 1 month without getting a single token because you're waiting for an event, and it's extremely hard to get those nowadays. So the whole point is that this store, you can actually get a bunch of goodies from it, and it's actually amazing, right? So the thing is, the trick is you need to do all your challenges before reset, like 5 or 10 minutes before reset. And if you can't do that, just do it like before you sleep, right? Because it is super important to do that. Otherwise, you will let the whole duration of the day, all the players that are in the top positions to regain those positions basically attack you, and you will go down in ranks, you'd get less rewards. So this strategy always worked for me, and I wanted to share it with you guys as well. Now let's try out one of these challenges and see how the battle goes on. So you can always refresh to see if you can get a better, better ranking. So I got 91 over here. So we're gonna go for 96. This guy seems decent. Also, there's a weekly buff, which is also very important. So this weekly buff, you get tank units, which are the heavy ones. They get 100% durability, which is amazing. So that's why I have 2 of these in the front line. I would prefer to put an anti-tank like in the like 3 back lines and 2 like 3 front lines or something like that. But currently I'm not running that. So we're facing this guy. He has a super heavy over there, heavy over here, and some infantry over here. I'm not sure which infantry these are, but we can see that there are 2 artilleries back there, so we can definitely focus on the heavies and the super heavies, maybe put one on the infantry so that we can take them out quickly. So I'm gonna put this guy here and this guy here. So let's see how this fight goes on. We're gonna take out the skip button and see how this fight goes on. Of course, the battle is automatically done, and you can see that everything is just moving into place, and once they reach the proximity, they start attacking each other. So as you can see now, the artilleries are starting to get their stuff going. The battle is 2 minutes, so if you don't beat the opponent within 2 minutes, the defending side wins. However, if you beat the opponent in 2 minutes, then you basically win the fight. And of course, if the opponent beats you as well, they get the points. So you kind of get the point of how the point system now works. So this is basically what's happening. My super heavy is just like literally at full HP still. The infantry did 0 damage, absolute 0 damage. Let's zoom this in a little bit because it was too far. Yeah, now we can see the battle much better. And we already took out 2 of their front line. We're gonna take out the last one over here. As you can see, it always, like, the target's always targeting the front line and then they go to the back line. So this is very important to also notice. You have to have a solid front line so that your back line would deal the maximum amount of damage possible. And this is basically what's happening right now. There's 50 seconds left. I do believe that the 2-minute marker is actually, I'm not sure to be honest, but they might need to upgrade it to 3 minutes marker. But I mean, like, we still had 40 seconds. But if they had more durability on their troops, or maybe like better, I don't know, like better durability, I think that this would have been 1 for them. Even though like my units are clearly stronger. So the power fact over here does matter. However, to some extent, because you can still, like, I can still beat players who are 3.5 mil, 3.6 mil, or maybe 4 mil if they have like a really bad composition and I have a much better composition in my like vehicles, and I'm using the weekly like durability or weekly buffs that are added. So you can still beat players who are of the same power or even a little bit higher than you. But of course, if a player is like double your power, there's no way you can beat them because they have much higher grades in their units. Now that was about it in terms of the arena. We're gonna probably do more dedicated videos in terms of the best arena compositions later on, once we understand the system a little bit better and see what the pros are doing and read a little bit of guides and try out some things around. Definitely this video is gonna be coming soon. So hey, if you would like to join that or watch that video soon, then consider subscribing down there. It will definitely help us out a lot. Now, let's jump into the other topic of this update. The second topic that was introduced in this update was the drills optimization. Now, during the drills event, you can basically attack collection convoys. The way that this works is that the attacker, once they destroy a collection convoy, they get all the points of the resources that were collected by this collection convoy. However, the resources will still go to its original owner. So for example, if I send a collection convoy and it collected 100k cash, the 100k cash, if the collection convoy was destroyed, the 100k cash will give back to me. I'll be able to gain the resources. However, the attacking party will be able to gain all the points that I was able to acquire from these resources. So it's kind of like a good thing, I guess, because now during that part of the event, you'll be able to see people using much faster units to, you know, roam around the battlefield, taking out all these collection convoys. You'll be able to get more points as a free-to-play player, because sometimes free-to-play players cannot just compete in like very extremely high fights when there's like a whale coming in. Their units are extremely strong. You can't really get a lot of points. Now there's a chance to get a lot of points if you are willing to grind and send your kind of fast units around the battlefield to roam, get those collection convoys, and get extra points. I do believe this is a good change, to be honest, and it adds some more dynamic to the game. The other thing about the rules of the drills also has been, there's an optimization to them. Now you can basically get the battle owner ranking is now for the entire battleground rather than the city, and also in addition to that, the ranking rewards has been increased, and the number of commanders that are able to get all these rewards has also been increased. So that's kind of pretty good, because now it's like much more competitive, I guess, and we're gonna kind of see about that, how that works out, if it's more or less tilted to the whales or more or less tilted to everyone else. I do believe that, however, the collection convoys is a kind of very good thing for the free-to-play players, because right now you can actually get more points without having to spend all your reserves basically just fighting a whale or trying to fight some enemies' bases. There is a very good thing about this update, which are the 2 new officers that have been added to the game. One of them I've already unlocked, and the other one, because we haven't still got to a point where I think it was 183 days in terms of server time. We still haven't got there. I think it's like only 2 months over here. So probably in a couple of months we'll be able to unlock the other officer. But for this one over here, it's pretty good. So Heaven Savior, or Edward Freeman, is a fighter plane officer. Generally speaking, we're not going to go through the details of the skills right now. You can definitely read those skills on your own. But generally speaking, this officer increases the fighter plane status, maneuverability, makes them much more maneuverable, higher durability, and they debuff enemies' fighter planes, and in addition to buffing your bombers in that specific radius that they are fighting in. Now, this buff doesn't actually stack when you use this officer with multiple, because it says it buffs allied bombers by 15%. Now, if this buff actually stacks, then it will be amazing, because probably if you use 5 of those, then you're gonna increase your bombers in that specific area by a lot. So we still gotta see and check about that, and when we do a full guide about this officer, definitely we'll have the answer for that. We're gonna probably do a full guide about them very soon. I still haven't posted any officer guides videos. They're coming very soon for sure, but however, we need to check all these kind of little details so that we can answer all your questions when the time comes. So this is one of the officers. The other officer is actually a tank officer. They're called Steel Fighter or Galena. That specific officer is extremely durable. It is basically, they are basically a tank. Like, their units are extremely great at garrisoning. They have an applied shield that could reach up to 2,000 multiplier. And they are a pretty solid units. I think they are amazing if you put them on your super heavy tanks. So if you already have unlocked them, definitely try them on your super heavy tanks, and they will be a beast in fights. Let's move on to the last part of this video, which are the combat balances. In terms of combat balances, there's a lot of changes happening right now. So Camp Liberty has been buffed a lot, and we have 2 units that are mainly focused on these buffs. So the first unit are actually light tanks, and light tanks can now shoot a switch to AA mod, which is basically anti-air, and now they can actually fight airplanes from the ground. So you have 2 mods for the light tanks. We can view like a quick review about these. I'll post the trailer video that was posted by Warpath. You can check that out as well to see the full kind of experience over there. However, now light tanks can switch to AA mode and attack airplanes from the ground, which is kind of pretty cool because now it adds like a better role and more details to the light tanks. Will that increase the usage of light tanks? I think it will actually do, it will increase the usage of light tanks simply because the new drill mod actually focuses on more mobile units in the field to get more points from convoy. Like if you get those convoy collections or destroy them, you'll get more points. So I think medium and light tanks are gonna be definitely highlighted in that section. However, will it mean that these tanks will be used overall? I don't think so. I think like a couple of events or a couple of things you will do, definitely will need light tanks, but so far I don't see a use for them, for example in the arena, because unless they are introduced in the weekly bonuses or buffs and you get a really cool buff for them, but so far I don't see a use for them in specific scenarios. But most likely this is definitely a good update, because before that they weren't really that popular, and right now they have a little bit more of an extra role for them in combat, so I think that's also pretty good. However, the thing that I'm actually excited about is the Camp Liberty infantry. Now they can shoot smoke bombs that disable, or the units that they attack are unable to attack or load weaponry. Now this is a pretty cool change, simply because also the infantry has been buffed as well. Their durability has been raised by 30%, their firepower has been raised by 15%, so that's overall status buff, which is kind of pretty cool. However, As we know, the infantry is kind of a weak unit. It kind of loses its value from mid to late game. In the early game, they're actually pretty strong, but we'll definitely be able to see some uses for them, especially with this new smoke bomb effect. I do like that. I haven't yet tried it in combat, but it looks actually very cool, especially if it lasts for good duration. I think it will be definitely useful in the arena, especially if you have, for example, a buff that is a weekly buff for infantry, and you can actually use that in the arena, then that's definitely could be one of the things that it is used for. I'm still actually curious about the arena because in terms of infantry, they are not yet garrisoned if you put them in the first spots, as you saw from our last fight in the arena in this, like previously in this video. The infantry are just there. They don't apply the garrison. So we still need to see how that could be optimized, and definitely we're going to be talking about that once it's actually out there. But so far, these are good news, and it could definitely put the infantry in a better role in the game. Also, another really cool thing that has happened, the anti-tank vehicle damage has been increased from 250% to 350%. That is a 100% increase in vehicle damage, which is amazing. I do like anti-tanks a lot. I think super heavies are overpowered, so this is definitely a good buff for the anti-tanks. And then finally, the Katyusha, or basically the Katyusha, their loading time and the initial load time has been reduced by 1 second each, so from 8 to 7 and from 4 to 3 seconds. I think that is super important as well. The role probably can now be used in the mid game because they didn't deal that much damage, but right now they're actually dealing some solid damage in smaller intervals. So I think the DPS, which is the damage over like their DPS, definitely has been increased. So I think probably now they will have a better role in the mid game, at least. In the late game, I don't see them a lot happening over there, but in the mid game, that's definitely a usable unit over there because of its mobility as well. So let's not forget that it's mobile and it reloads much faster than the other artillery units. Now, these were basically all the updates and balances. There are some also further optimizations. I can now share a screenshot of those on the screen. You can guys read them, or I will link as well the full patch notes if you guys would like to see them in the description below. We also have 2 new events upcoming, the Lunar New Year event and the Valentine's event upcoming in the next couple of weeks. Those are I'm super excited about. Also super excited about the base skins that we can get from those. Maybe we can get some really cool base skins, especially for the Lunar New Year event. I do really like those kind of Chinese base skins. They would look amazing. So let's see how those base skins actually look like once they come out. And yeah, basically that was it for this update. If you did like all like the notes that we have given, the flow of the video, if you have any notes about that, please leave me in the comments below. But if you did like it or you learned something new today, please make sure to consider subscribing down there and hit that like button so that our community can grow. Soon we will be opening a Discord channel especially for the community. We will share written guides and links for specific topics over there. It's gonna be a very cool thing. Once we launch it, probably this weekend, I'll share it in the videos and the video description, so you'll be able to see that as well. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.